Hey, Mike with Marketing Systems by Design here, the channel where we help cleaning business owners generate more traffic, leads, and sales for their business with digital marketing. In today's video, I'll be walking you through how to follow up with cleaning leads to increase sales. So let's get into it. Now, one thing to understand is that a lot of cleaning business owners struggle to either generate leads to begin with, struggle with converting those leads, or they think that maybe their leads are bad or not as high quality as they should be. And so they start blaming the leads that they're not good enough, when in reality, a major factor of why you're struggling to convert leads is your follow-up process and your sales process. And so like I said, in this video, we're going to walk you through some steps to improve your follow-up process, which in turn can help you qualify your leads better, sign more up, and again, bring on new clients for your cleaning business. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you have in place is a thank you page that people get directed to after they submit a cleaning estimate request form. Now, this is very important. It's also very simple to do. A great benefit to this is that it can help you track your conversions more effectively from your website. So if you don't have a thank you page, it can be very difficult to track when someone converts as a lead through things like Google Analytics, through things like your Google ads or even Facebook ads. Also, when you set up a thank you page like this, you can build targeted audiences through Facebook advertising. And so it's another benefit as well. But a great part with integrating this into your follow-up process is the fact that you can, number one, just acknowledge that you received that estimate request, because people will appreciate that, right? People don't like filling out forms and just hoping that the company received it. So if you just have a simple page that says something along the lines of "thanks for submitting a quote request, someone from our staff will be in contact with you shortly," that can go a long way to just build trust with your company and, credibility as well. And then also an additional thing that you can do on this thank you page is actually include a video thank you. And this is very powerful as well, because it can get you into the mix of reaching out to people. And again, people like doing business with people, not just faceless companies. So if you as the owner, or maybe your head of customer service, whatever the case might be, can create just a simple thank you video saying, "Thanks for submitting an estimate with us. We'll be in contact with you shortly." And so again, this just goes a long way to build that rapport. And so a lot of times as well, when people come to your website and they are asking for an estimate request, your company is not the only one they're doing that with, right? They're reaching out to a bunch of companies. They're in research mode. They're looking and deciding on what company to work with. So by having this video thank you, it's really going to separate you from the competition. So I'd highly suggest using that as well on your thank you page. Another thing that we need to talk about is, are you following up more than once? A lot of clients that we work with, when they first come on board, we'll kind of look into their lead generation process. We'll look at their follow-up process, their sales process. And one thing that we notice time and time again is that they only follow up once when people submit their forms or become a lead. One strategy we implement a lot with clients is through Facebook Messenger ads. And so this brings them a lot of people reaching out to them, asking for free quotes, asking for estimates, and it can be very effective when a company follows up. Another thing that we find with this strategy is that you can set up an initial auto message that goes out that asks for a little bit more information, but a lot of times we find companies drop the ball at that point. So they don't actually continue to follow up with that person. So they have that first message response that goes out, but they never get in contact with that person again. And so that's leaving a lot of conversions on the table. So you do want to follow up more than once. You want to initiate that conversation, but then ask them for their phone number, for their email. You can say things like, "Here's our phone number if you'd like to get a quote faster. By the way, what's yours?" or something along those lines. So initiate that conversation, but follow up more than once and follow up in different ways. So one powerful way to follow up is through an email autoresponder. And so what this is, it's basically a marketing tool. When someone enters their name and email, they enter their information for requesting a quote, it's going to automatically add them to your email list, and it will initially send out a first email that will say, hey, thanks for requesting an estimate. And then it has that next step in your sales process. So someone from our staff will be in contact with you. If you are able to just automatically provide that quote after someone submits that information, you can do that and it goes right out to them. Whatever the case might be, you want to have an initial response email saying that you received their quote and you'll be in contact with them with the next steps. You can also include that aspect on your thank you page that we talked about earlier, where you might say, here's our phone number, call us if you'd like to receive that estimate quicker. And so this can be a great way to get people calling you, even if they have filled out a form, to kind of expedite that conversion process. Now, in addition to that initial first message that you send out, when you set up an email autoresponder, you can also create an email series. And this is great because, again, as I had mentioned, a lot of people that come to your website and become a cleaning lead, they're kind of in that research mode. They're comparing your company to others, deciding who to work with. And so if you've set up an email series that is kind of a drip campaign, that each email that goes out further educates those leads on the benefits of your services and then sells your services on the back end, it can help build that trust and credibility with your business. And so again, when timing is right for those people and they do decide to work with a company and hire a cleaning service, they end up going with you versus the competition because you've led with so much value, you've answered their questions, and now they trust your business over the competition. So an email series is an effective way to do that. And so along these lines, a tip to follow up without being pushy and salesy and aggressive is to, again, educate your clients first and then sell them on the back end, or you call this educational selling. And so you really just go through and highlight the different benefits of your service, or maybe you have blog posts or different articles on your site that further educate a potential customer. So for example, let's say that you did a floor care service. And so maybe you put together a blog post that was 15 floor care tips or 15 floor maintenance tips to help your floors last longer. And so again, that post is really just all value, teaching them how to maintain their floors, how to keep them clean. And then on the back end, you can include a PS line, which is basically just saying, hey, PS, by the way, if you want to let us clean your floors for you instead of dealing with the hassle of cleaning them yourselves, check out our floor care specials here. Something along those lines, where you have the bulk of your email just being value-based, sending them to that article, giving them more tips and education, and then at the end, you're selling at that point. So you're really just following an 80-20 rule of 80% leading with value, 20% selling your products on the back end. This is a great way to improve your follow-up and get more conversions. Now, I mentioned it before, you don't want to just follow up with email. This is another mistake we find with companies is whatever method that they generated that lead from, that's the only method they tend to follow up with that person. So for example, again, if they came in from a messenger ad, that's the only form of communication they have is through Facebook. If they came in through email, that's the only way they reach out to them. And so ideally, you want to come from all different angles, right? So if you've generated an email lead, hopefully they've also included their phone number on the estimate form. If you're talking with them on Facebook, if you're chatting there, you can offer to call them in person if they'd prefer, or hey, give us a call or email us here if you'd like to get your estimate faster. So again, great options to use, because then what happens is you have more options to follow up with them and you're more in control of the follow-up process at that point. So reach out to people with different methods. It can be a great way to increase your lead flow and conversions. And also a strategy to get more information is to kind of have this reciprocal approach where, for example, if you're chatting with someone and you want to get their phone number, instead of just directly asking for their phone number, offer yours first. So by the way, here's our phone number. Give us a call if you'd like to get your quote faster. And if you'd like, we could also give you a call. What's your phone number? So again, because you've given your phone number first, or again, your email first, people are more likely to give you theirs because you offered that more information first, and people will feel more comfortable with you at that point. So that's another tip you can use to help improve your follow-up process and get more information. Along these lines, when it comes to more information, one thing that we find too is sometimes cleaning companies will ask too much information or maybe too personal of information. in that first contact, in that first information. So again, for example, maybe they have a cleaning estimate form and they're asking for a first name, last name, address, email address, phone number, square footage, how many kids they have, how many bedrooms are in their home, all these different, questions that they have, and that's great. That can give you a lot of information to give a high quality, accurate quote, but it can also scare off a lot of people because they don't want to give all that personal information just for a quote when, again, they're in that research and comparison mode. So ideally, you want to just ask for the minimum amount of information possible that can allow you to give a quote. And then from there, if they're going to hire your service or work with your company, you're obviously going to need more information and you'll get it at that point. But if they're just kind of dipping their toes in the water, just exploring your company, getting estimates, seeing who they maybe want to work with, if you're like, hey, give me all this information up front, that might scare them away. So wait for those higher end details on the back end and then get in contact with them first, because you're going to need to do that anyway. If you get these hundreds of questions answered up front, but then you can never get a hold of the person, it doesn't really matter. And then you've potentially scared off a lot of potential clients by asking for all that information up front. So think about that when you're asking questions and following up with cleaning leads. Ask for what's necessary and then move them on to the next step of the sales process. And once they're in that next step, then you can ask for more information if it's required to run your business and have them hire you as a cleaning service. Another thing that we find a lot of cleaning business owners don't do is actually follow up with their existing customers. So they feel that they've made that first sale, they've gotten that customer, and they don't really need to follow up at that point. When in reality, there's a lot that you can do with existing customers to turn that into more business. So the first one is going to be to upsell them on more services. So you've probably heard before that it's a lot easier to sell an existing customer than to sell a brand new customer. And this is very true. So when you have customers that maybe have got in the door of hiring your cleaning service with maybe like a one-time cleaning or a deep cleaning, or maybe they hired your company for like window cleaning or carpet cleaning, but they're not yet a recurring customer. These are great people to upsell and turn into those repeat monthly customers, weekly customers, bi-weekly, again, whatever the case might be. So definitely follow up with these people that already have purchased from you and try and upsell them on additional services. Another aspect that you can follow up on with these customers is asking them for reviews. Now, you might not get an immediate additional customer from that positive review, but as a whole, the more positive reviews that you have on your website, the more credible your business seems, the more social proof you have, and the more likely people are going to hire you over the competition. There's also extra benefits like helping your Google My Business page rank higher in search. So again, you can be generating more local leads the more positive reviews you have. So there's a lot of benefits to it, but be sure that you follow up with your existing customers and ask them for reviews, because that can lead to more customers down the road. Along these lines as well, another great strategy to implement is asking your existing clients for referrals. You can even incentivize this. So it's going to vary from company to company what makes sense for you, but you might throw in an additional cleaning service, or maybe you have a higher level service or an additional service like window cleaning or carpet cleaning, and you throw in a portion of that for free. There's a lot of different options that you can do, but make sure that it's profitable for your business and then deliver on that, whatever bonus it is, after the sale has been completed. So after someone refers you a new client, don't just do it right away. Wait until that new client has their service performed, they've paid, and then you can deliver on whatever offer it is that you use to incentivize these customers to give you referrals. So again, implement these strategies. They can help you convert more of your cleaning leads into customers for your cleaning business, and pay attention to the follow-up and the sales process. It's not just all about getting more traffic and leads. While that's important, it's about the back end as well of the follow-up and the sales process that can make a big difference in your success and failure of your cleaning business. So again, guys, hopefully you got some benefit and value out of this video. If you did, feel free to comment and share. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates of new videos we put out here to help you you build a profitable cleaning business. And if you're struggling to generate leads, we actually put together a free video training on the top 10 lead sources for cleaning business owners. So if you want more high quality leads for your cleaning business, be sure to check out that free video training. There's going to be a link in the description below where you can access that video. But once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.